Live from Factory Underground Radio. It's Strictly Adapted with Kayode and Kate. You're on.
Yes, yo. What's going on? What's going on?
You know now. You just look at me and you know.
I know that now. I'm ready for when you are about to complain about something production wise.
I'm not complaining. I'm just, I'm giving you the side eye. Like, hey, my mic needs to get.
I should have known. I should have known. Welcome to Scriptly Adapted. Here on Factory Underground Radio. We're back, baby. We're back.
Yay.
Welcome back to the show. It is Saturday. And today we got a good show. We got some decent weather. We got some this is spring, right? Is it officially spring?
It was spring as of March 21st.
Oh, really?
You should boo yourself on that one.
I should no. You're always looking for a way to boo me.
What are you doing over there? What is happening?
I'm trying to get the mic.
God, that's like someone unwrapping a mint wrapper in the middle of a movie. Stop it.
I'm trying to get the mic just right. I'm trying to get the mic just right.
Oh, just right, huh? Just right.
Just right.
Like Goldilocks. If
Just right.
she's not over here visiting me, she's not over there visiting you. Do you hear me? Anyway, moving on. Yeah, the weather's nice.
Weather's
it's,
nice.
65 degrees.
65.
Birds are chirping.
Yeah, birds are chirping. And today, Kate, today we got a good show. We got some stuff to talk about. We have some a good couples topic. We saw a great film yesterday. Great film that we're going to talk to you about today on the Rotten Tomatoes Film of the Week. But Kate, today we want to go into.
Please get this right.
Please let me get this right for my own sake. The Morning Brews, Morning News, baby. Morning Brews, Morning News. The people want
There
it,
you go.
and we're gonna give it to the people.
I'm so proud of you.
We got a couple things to talk about this week. Apple has turned 50 years old. Kate.
I think that gives a round
you
of
want to
applause.
give a round of applause for the $1 trillion company Apple with I'm assuming with the first iMac, right, or whatever that was called, the first Apple, whatever
not the
Macintosh, whatever that Macintosh was. But yeah, Apple turns 50. And Kate, do you remember what your first Apple product was? Do you remember what it was? Because
it was a laptop my dad handed down to me because my dad is a retired videographer, photographer, and he used nothing really but Apple products to edit and all
the
best stuff. Only the best, man. And he handed it down to me, and that was my first Apple product. Me personally was an Apple laptop, Mac laptop. Yeah.
I thought it was the iPhone, the first.
No, No, he got his. The first one came out in 2007. Yeah, next year it's going to be 20 years.
20
years. For the iPhone. Isn't that crazy?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember? It was like a bubble. It had like the bubble back to it. It was round.
You got the very first iPhone. iPhone 1.
No, my dad did.
He had the first
I did not.
iPhone
I had
1.
a BlackBerry when the Apple came out, and Apple swept BlackBerry off the face of the earth. It took time.
Yeah,
it took time, but it happened, man. Listen, I don't think you'll catch many people. I feel like they've dominated the cell phone industry. Like, it's either that or Android. And Android, I mean, listen, don't get me wrong. Android is in its own right a great product, very user-friendly. Cameras are phenomenal. Guys, Android users, take that and do with it what you will, because that's the most praise you'll ever get from me regarding Android. I've gone once. I will never return. BlackBerry. I had a BlackBerry, folks.
The BlackBerry was the joint to have, man. That's what everybody had. Yep. That's what everybody was rocking with. The BlackBerry, the Motorola joints where you could chime and walkie-talkie.
Do you remember
walkie-talkie
Nextel,
people?
Yeah.
Yep.
Nextel.
Yep.
I had a sidekick in college.
You had a sidekick?
Yeah, I coerced my dad into getting me one. But I had the sidekick and the cell phone.
I didn't see. You did? Yeah. What, were you a drug dealer? What are you talking about? You had a sidekick and a cell phone?
I was not a drug dealer.
Who are you?
The sidekick was only for text messaging.
Oh, please. Now the sidekick. Now the sidekick I never had, but I did have. I had a Motorola Razr, I think it was called, the thin silver joint that popped up.
I loved those.
And then I had the Nextel. I had to convince my dad.
You had a Nextel?
I had to convince my dad to give me his.
You got the chirp?
to give me his because he got a new phone and he gave me his as like a hand-me-down. The man was so cheap, he didn't give me my own phone. He was like, hey, take this one. I used it, though, and it's broken and cracked and all that stuff, but it still works. It's still serviceable. But yeah, man, not Nextel, but Apple has turned 50 years old. And for all of us who are now sucked into the Apple vortex, meaning everything we do in life is connected to these phones.
Everything.
We are in forever. So give it up for Apple for keeping their people high retention rate. Ladies and gentlemen, Scriptly Adapted, and we are celebrating season 3, episode 1 today. Woo! Today, give it up for us. 3 years doing this show
here at Factory Underground.
Here at Factory Underground Radio, one of the greatest places I've found ever in my podcasting, broadcasting career-ish. Right, learned a lot at this place, and this place is a gem for a lot of things if you want to, come and learn something. And the people are amazing here. And here we at Scriptly Adapted, this is our 3rd year doing the podcast radio show, but we've been doing Scriptly Adapted stuff forever, for a long time, in different iterations and everything. And I think this is the one that really has stuck out to be the thing. So yeah, give it up for us again. Season 3, episode 1. And because it's episode 1, we got some good stuff to talk about. Anybody fill up their tank lately? We got $4 a gallon average, y'all.
I don't think I've seen those prices since Sandy, right?
No, I think since COVID, right? Since the beginning of the beginning of the pandemic, I don't think we've seen something like this. And this is what I'm going to give that our country right now is the bomb, not literally, which is
right. That was poor timing.
Poor timing.
Poor timing.
But the bomb is for how much gas has gone up. It's ridiculous. There seems to be no big end in sight, so who knows what these gas prices could get to. I saw something crazy in California. It's like $8 a gallon.
No way. First of all, California, get your life together. Why do you have $8 per gallon for gas? It's dumb.
Insane.
And you guys have some of the worst traffic.
Yeah. Insane.
Gosh,
that state has no business charging people that much money,
Ridiculous.
Despite what type of taxes go into the gas when it gets to California, whatever it is. The people should not be paying $8 a gallon. You should be ashamed of yourself, California. Listen, it's crazy. It's crazy. If I lived in that state of California, I'd be riding my bike, or I'm telling my boss I ain't coming in. It's $8 a gallon. I can't afford it. I can't afford it. $8 a gallon.
So I'll see you when the gas prices.
I'll see you when gas prices go back down, bro.
Can you imagine? Hey, so gas is a little too high, and I won't be into work today.
Remember that rent is too damn high? Now gas is too damn high. Too high.
Ridiculous.
Too high. It's ridiculous. And here on the East Coast,
Savannah Guthrie is planning her return this coming Monday back to the Today Show. So we'll see how that goes. Man,
that's a tough one.
I don't even how do you just go back to doing that? I don't know. It's one thing if, unfortunately, if your family member has been deceased and you have had time to grieve and move on, but there's just so many unknowns. You're just walking around in a haze. I don't even know how she's going to go back to doing something that for her before all this was so normal. It was such a part of her normal routine. I mean, yes, it was her job, but it was just, and she loved doing it. How do you go back to that?
It could be one of those things where either she's come to terms with what possibly has gone down with her mother, unfortunately, or she's forcing herself to get up and get out again so she can function once again like a person, despite the fact that her mother is still missing and there is no news, nobody, nothing. I don't know.
This doesn't
tough.
leave
you
hope
can't
for
sit there.
Well, guys, listen, this was we got a little bit off on a tangent here, but in all seriousness, I don't even know how to get back to that, but stay tuned. We're coming up next with your couples topic of the week.
Yes, y'all. Keep it locked.
Dun, dun, dun.
Well, what we got for the couples topic this week, Kate?
What to do when your partner is neat and you're messy, or vice versa.
Listen, man, this is a very heavy topic because out right now, there's couples and married couples listening that are looking at each other like, you're the messy one. No, you're the messy one. And in this marriage right here,
we're both neat.
Yeah. Give it up for us.
Yep.
But we're going to talk about what to do if your partner isn't neat.
My drawers are is where all the messiness is. No, it's just my drawers. It's just my drawers.
Now that I think about it.
I am a very neat person except for my drawers, and I will own that. I could care less. Best intentions, y'all. I open up those drawers what did you do? Yeah, whatever. I just fold up clothes and neatly arrange, and then you know what? They just get all bunched up in the drawer. It's not my fault.
Hold on a second.
Otherwise, I'm
Catherine.
good. I'm neat. Even at night, when I fall asleep on the couch on the weekends and I get up at like 1 o'clock in the morning and I'm like, okay, I have to get to bed. I fold up the blanket. I even moderately fluff the pillows. I put my glass in the dishwasher.
You are tripping.
I am not tripping. How many times have I done that?
You're the queen of
You don't wake up in the morning and stuff is still on the couch from the night before?
You are the queen of moving stuff.
What are you talking?
And
I'm the queen of moving stuff?
And hiding it.
Oh, no, you don't.
Hiding it to the point where no one can find it.
No.
Yes.
You move stuff. I'll be walking through the house and think I'm having an acid trip because I'm like, wait a second. That wasn't there.
Okay, this is the one thing I hate about you, is that you do notice everything.
I do.
Which is crazy to me.
I
like, how do
everything.
you notice the littlest thing moved, but you can't find the biggest thing that you hid from me? Like my slippers. Where are they? Why can't I find... Do you think I'm messy? You're bugging.
Well,
now you're tripping.
Wait, no, I haven't even answered the question yet.
It's taking you too long to answer.
Give me a second.
Take it too long.
I don't think you're messy at all. I think you're extremely neat. And for that, I'm very grateful. You do have a place for everything. However, there are certain things that you refuse to do. For some reason, it is extremely difficult for you to take a dish and put it in the dishwasher. And to me, that's kind of a sign of being messy.
It's a lose, fellas. But listen, if you're sitting with your significant other, your partner, your husband, your wife, your spouse, whatever, talk about this and see really dig in to see who's the neat one, who's the sloppy one. And maybe you'll start to realize some patterns here, because Kate claims she's not sloppy. But if you look at her car, you'd be like, all right, there's some things you could clean up.
Not messy,
things you could clean up. I'm just saying.
Trust me, it's not. And for any of those people that are listening that have kids, would be like, nah, her car's immaculate. So, also, that doesn't work for you. So, I am incredible. I don't think I could be with someone who wasn't neat.
Keep talking about it. The couples topic of the week: messy versus neat, and vice versa, y'all. Give it up for us. Give it up for us. But right now, y'all, listen, here at Scriptly Adapted, we're trying to get together with some people, some folks, and highlight some film brands that are out in the, in the Instagram universe. Mm-hmm. As you can see, folks, on this camera, I got a Back to the Future shirt.
And I'm wearing Top Gun.
And Kate's got a Top Gun shirt from the brand Uranus. On Instagram, they're doing big things in terms of film and TV culture apparel. And they're really cool. Kate, tell us a little more about it.
Yeah, so Uranus Merch is an online store for real cinema lovers. They've got classic cinema t-shirts, a massive book collection, and unique memorabilia. So check them out, Uranus Merch on Instagram.
Uranus Merch on Instagram. I got a large Back to the Future joint.
Yeah.
The pattern.
You do love that show. Wait, did I pick
It's not a show, it's a movie.
I'm sorry.
The apparel is very wide-ranging. And also, it's pretty dope that there's some movie and film apparel lines that you can actually go out and discover on the Instagram universe. Because, like I said, you can find anything on Instagram, and these businesses and these companies that want to do and celebrate film. We got to celebrate here on Scriptly Adapted. Again, Back to the Future and Kate's, what do you got? That Top Gun, which I'll probably take from her in a few weeks.
Disrespectful.
I might take it from you. But keep it locked in, guys. We got more show. We got our Rotten Tomatoes film of the week, and I can't wait to talk to it with you guys. Keep it locked in. The Whispers, rock steady here. Okay, what the heck are you doing?
I'm jamming.
Here on this Saturday morning, WFUT Factory Underground Radio, Scriptly Adapted. We are here bringing you shows and shows and shows. And today, we got to bring you a film that I was very excited to see. I was posting about it on our Instagram pages a few weeks before it came out, and we finally got to see it. We are talking about the drama Rotten Tomatoes Film of the Week, starring Zendaya and Robert. And oh man, Kate.
Screenplay written and directed by Christopher Borgli. A film stars Zendaya and Robert Pattinson as an engaged couple who begin to learn secrets about one another in the lead up to their wedding. It's just very funny. It's about two individuals who have kind of this little meet cute, right, in the beginning, enter into a relationship, and then it's kind of leading up to their wedding and like things that they're doing, and they wind up going to their food tasting with their best man and maid of honor. And they get into a conversation about the worst thing that they've ever done.
Right. Which is always a bad idea.
Decision. Very bad
idea.
decision. And so it comes around to Zendaya, right? And everybody was kind of lighthearted, like typical kid stuff, right? Until she speaks and you're like,
oh. You're like,
and this is like, makes me look at you a little differently. And so it's basically about Robert Pattinson's character, Charlie, his journey into wondering if she's really the girl that he thinks she is and if he still wants to marry her. And then he winds up having a little secret of his own that unravels comes to light in the film. But it's, I think, a really interesting look into maybe you don't know everything about your partner. Maybe you don't know everything about someone, but would you make the choice to love them anyway? And to start a new life with them anyway, and not to hold their past against them.
Well, on Rotten Tomatoes, it's doing pretty well with the critics 79% fresh, and then the fans loved. I mean, the average watchers loved it at 84%. The one thing about this movie, Kate, that did it for me. Because I wasn't sure how it was going to end, and I've watched a lot of other movie influencers review this movie and say that they didn't feel necessarily satisfied at the end, but the film itself they felt conflicted. The film itself was very well done and good and interesting or whatever, but at the end it kind of leaves you like it was like, oh, okay, that's it. But I liked it because it circled back to the one theme about their relationship, which was let's start over. Which was essentially the beginning of how they met.
It's interesting that you say that because I was just reading up on the plot, and I didn't realize that even though it's the theme within the film, it's actually a theme within Zendaya's character, Emma. It literally starts in the beginning, which I didn't catch in the coffee shop when she said, oh, let's just start over. Yeah. And I didn't realize she's literally saying that throughout the entire film. And I don't know if it's also a way for her to kind of also want to start over for herself. She was a kid and a teenager who went through bullying and withstood all that stuff. And so I think it was a way for her to be like, who was a bookstore clerk, a way for her to be like, I want to create this life for myself. And maybe I never saw this happening for me. So why don't we just start over? And I just thought that was very interesting. Yeah.
And I got to listen, Zendaya is my prediction for 27, 28 is that between the years 27 and 28, that Zendaya will do some films or a film that will get her an Oscar. This woman
absolutely
needs she is a fantastic actress.
She's gotten better, though.
That has grown up in front of our eyes and have become in facial emotion, in delivery, where you feel everything she's doing. She is engaged and locked in with that character, the people she's on screen with. Her and Robert Pattinson's chemistry was off the chart amazing, which made this film even better. Robert Pattinson is just, I think, extremely underrated for his acting. I think he's a fantastic actor. And it was the performances and the story. The story was so offbeat in terms of what we find out that it was like, oh, damn.
It was so random, and you're like, you know what, though? It kind of worked.
And
he says something, and I won't say exactly what he said because it'll give it away, but Robert Pattinson's character, Charlie, says something where he goes, but is it fair to judge her for that? I mean, you have a million people walking around all day long that probably thinks about these things.
About the same,
and they forget about it, and they're going around with their normal life. So it was like, I think that was the theme of the movie, and I think also it was kind of interesting for him because he seems to have it all together in the sense of, has a very great job. He works at the British Museum as an art curator. I think you get the picture that he kind of has it all figured out compared to her. That's the impression I got, that she was a little bit of a mess and he was a little bit of he looked physically a mess, but he, I think, had a career or whatever. He was just looking for love. They were two of the most unlikely people probably that you wouldn't think that would fall in love, but I really enjoyed it.
Kate, what would you give this film?
Oh, definitely an A.
Oh,
for sure.
You're so easy with the grades.
No, from the cinematography with the sharp cuts and the close zooms did it. The acting was phenomenal. The chemistry was phenomenal. The score was good.
What was great about
the premise was I didn't say great, but it was fitting for the movie. The premise was quirky and funny. There was comedic relief. It was overall really good. I really enjoyed it. It was entertaining and it wasn't super long and drawn out. So yeah,
I'd probably give it a B+.
Oh wow,
solid B+.
And you're ridiculous with the grade rating. You're so
No.
stingy with
Solid
your
B plus.
grades.
It would spill into an A because of the performances by Pattinson and Zendaya, which was on point throughout the entire. Not one misstep. It was like they probably spent a lot of time together to get to know each other, to get in that couple's mode, in that mindset, and just.
And you know, another
killed
thing,
it on screen.
I think he's done a really good job at getting some roles that are different. He's incredibly talented.
Yeah, very
and you
talented.
likened him to like a funnier, more talented Hugh Grant, really.
Pattinson, yes.
Yeah.
Pattinson, especially his mannerisms and the way he was talking and speaking and interacting with other characters in this film. It gave me very much early comedic Hugh Grant, but on the dramatic level. But yeah, listen, guys, watch the drama, out now in theaters.
All right. So anyway, we've decided to integrate a random topic of the week, but mostly like film and nostalgia oriented. And today we're going to talk about our top kids cereal of the 90s. We are 90s kids.
Top kids cereal of the 90s, baby.
90s kids. All right.
I already got mine.
I didn't eat cereal.
I'm sorry, what?
I just didn't. I didn't eat cereal, and then I have this aversion to like my cereal getting soggy in the milk, and then the milk tasting weird. It's just
That was the best
it was
part
a
of the
very
cereal,
like
Kate.
sensory off-putting experience as a
Best
child.
cereal of the 90s.
Okay, for you, what was it?
It's got to be. Well, there's one and there's one A and one B. 1A, Cookie Crisp. Give it up for Cookie Crisp. Cookie Crisp should have never been on the shelves because it's basically cookies, chock full of
It's a
sugar,
miracle we're still alive,
chock
y'all.
full of sugar and nonsense. You threw that bad boy in the carnation milk that we were eating.
Oh, come on, man.
Listen, the carnation milk with that Cookie Crisp, it was like a dessert in the bowl, son. I don't know what my parents were thinking when they gave us that Cookie Crisp, and that it was insane. Cookie Crisp, by far one of the best kid cereals in the 90s. The other one,
I can't say I concur.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Ew, you picked that one out of all the cereals?
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
You got Fruit Loops, you got Frosted
Yuck.
Flakes. You
Frosted
got
Flakes was
you
cool.
got what was the
Kate,
the
what was-
smur- the
Not the
Tricks?
The Tricks.
Yeah,
Come
come
on.
on.
That stupid rabbit walking around on TV. No one ate Tricks.
Tricks are for kids.
Tricks is whack. But Cinnamon Toast Crunch was dope because the cinnamon would come off of the actual cereal, be in the milk in the bowl,
Oh,
and it would
God.
sweeten it up and it would taste like a sweetened milk with a little cinnamon dash in it. Oh man,
Not a
Cinnamon
cinnamon
Toast
dash.
Crunch, Cookie Crisp, best cereals of the 90s, Kate. What would you say?
I wasn't a
Okay,
big breakfast person when I was a kid, though. And I remember my dad trying to, like, because my dad would take me to school. I would remember him trying to, like, the only thing my dad makes, God love him, is scrambled eggs. His scrambled eggs were nice and fluffy and good, but I wasn't a breakfast person, and I wasn't into eggs like that. And I remember him standing over me and being like, you have to eat the eggs before you go to school.
Kate, that's wild.
I couldn't do it. That and those chalky Flintstone vitamins.
Oh, I love me a good Flintstone vitamin though. We had
Oh my God, those things were sitting next to my glass, and yeah, he wouldn't let me leave the table until I choked them down. Oh, it was child abuse.
listen. We ate that.
Not really, I'm just kidding.
Listen, we had those vitamins as if they were going to save our lives in the next 20 years. Like, you better have that Flintstones vitamin.
Right.
Like, that was a thing to us.
Like I said, y'all, it's a miracle we're still alive. If I had to eat a cereal,
What would be?
I loved Frosted Flakes. I loved the Tony the Tiger. I loved how
Where is that tiger?
I
Have you seen
love
him on
corn.
TV?
No, Kayode, because Frosted Flakes will now kill children. Number one, these kids aren't made like we were. Number two,
No, this-
everything in those cereals are death.
Death.
Okay?
Death.
Like I said, it's a miracle we are still alive. No, Frosted Flakes was one of my favorite. I did like Corn Flakes. My dad had a bowl. It's amazing how sometimes you just don't remember these small memories, and then you'll say something and you just have a flood of them. Shout out to life, for doing that. But Dad had a bowl of cornflake cereal almost every morning. That, a hard-boiled egg in an egg cup that he would tap and crack, and a glass of orange juice with pulp. That was usually his breakfast.
Love the good orange juice with the pulp in it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Got all the food groups, in the 90s before we knew any better.
Yeah, that's your random
Frosted
topic
Flakes.
of the day.
Yeah.
Kate says Frosted Flakes. I say Cookie Crisp. If you're alive and remember Cookie Crisp, Good for you.
Not if you're alive.
Because Cookie Crisp could have killed us all as kids, man. It wasn't cereal. It was legit chocolate chip cookies in a bag. Hey, do you want to get into the Legends Icons?
Yeah, I guess we could. Yeah.
Guys, this is our Legends and Icons of the day, and we have continued with the great Meryl Streep because, to be honest, we could continue with her for a couple of months.
Yeah.
We might just actually do that for the month of April. This week, we got Meryl Streep, and we got the film, The Iron Lady, which earned her third Academy Award. Kate, what we got on The Iron Lady?
Yeah. Well, first I want to talk about just kind of highlighting her rise to prominence. So she began workshopping Alice in Concert, a musical version of Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, with writer and composer Elizabeth Swados and director Joseph Papp. The show was put on at New York's Public Theater from December 1980. Greater success came later in the year when Streep starred in the drama Sophie's Choice, which I believe was her first or second Oscar, portraying a Polish survivor of Auschwitz caught in a love triangle between a young, naive writer and a Jewish intellectual. Streep's emotional, dramatic performance and her apparent mastery of a Polish accent drew praise. Among several acting awards, Streep won the Academy Award for Best Actress for her performance, and her characterization was voted the third greatest movie performance of all time by Premiere magazine. She played opposite Robert De Niro in the romance Falling in Love. She portrayed a fighter for the French resistance during World War II in the British drama Plenty. In her next film, Out of Africa, in 1985, Streep starred as the Danish writer Karen Blixen opposite Robert Redford's Dennis Finch Hatton. So On to the Iron Lady is a 2011 biographical drama film based on the life and career of Margaret Thatcher, a British politician who was the longest-serving Prime Minister of the United Kingdom of the 20th century and the first woman to hold the office. The film was directed by Philida Lloyd and written by Abby Morgan. Thatcher is portrayed primarily by Meryl Streep. Thatcher's husband, Dennis Thatcher, is portrayed by Jim Broadbent. So despite the film's mixed reception, Streep's performance was widely acclaimed. She received her 17th Oscar nomination. 17th Oscar nomination. This broad has been...
Yeah.
And from then, she's been nominated too. But in 2011, she had been nominated 17 times. And ultimately won the award for the third time, 29 years after her second Oscar win. She also earned her third Golden Globe and her second BAFTA award. So the film also won the Academy Award for Best Makeup and the BAFTA Award for Best Makeup and Hair.
Yeah, you know, I'm looking at the reception that the film received. It was not well received, like you mentioned, Kate. It was at 51% by critics on Rotten Tomatoes, and people said, listen, it was nothing about Streep's performance. It was just that the film just didn't feel.
You
just
know
wasn't
why?
Great. To
I think it was because it starts with her in the present experiencing dementia and seeing her deceased husband as a ghost. And so the film is done in flashbacks, talking about like showing her life and her rise to Prime Minister. And I think further flashbacks examine historical events during her time as Prime Minister, including the rising unemployment related to her monetarist policies. You know, also shown as her decision to retake the Falkland Islands following the invasion by Argentina in 1982, the sinking of the ARA General Belgrano, and Britain's subsequent victory, her friendship with U.S. President Ronald Reagan, which aided in her emergence as a world figure in the economic boom of the late 1980s. So, you know, it was, I think it was kind of uniquely done. I think they probably wanted to stay away from doing something that could have been boring. Because, you know, when you do these biographical films, you can just get so bogged down with detail. And there's so much to include, especially in a film about someone of her stature, right? I enjoyed it. I thought it was great. And I think she deserved that Oscar. I think it's a tough character. You know, The Iron Lady received mixed reviews from critics, although there was strong praise for her performance. The film has an approval rating of 51% on Rotten Tomatoes and an average score of 5.7 out of 10. The site's consensus reads, Meryl Streep's performance as the Iron Lady is reliably perfect, but it's mired in bland, self-important storytelling. So, yeah, but, I mean, who cares? She won the Oscar.
Yeah, her performance is what held that film together, basically. And that's all that kind of matters, because it's about Margaret Thatcher. Yeah. But that is your Rotten Tomatoes. Oh, not Rotten Tomatoes. I'm sorry. Legends and Icons. Meryl Streep, the Iron Lady. Guys, keep it here because we got more show for you. We got
just go right into Black
No,
Exploit,
I'm gonna say.
you
Black
want a
Exploit.
big one? Okay.
We got Black Exploit of the Week. We got the chick flick, and we got our artist highlight coming at you, y'all. Scriptly adapted. Factory Underground Radio. Yes, y'all. 1 in a million. Aaliyah. Welcome back to the show. Scriptly adapted here on Factory Underground Radio, y'all. You could catch these shows on our YouTube page at Scriptly Adapted. Instagram. You can catch all the clips, some highlights on Scriptly Adapted on Instagram and TikTok, and our website, scriptlyadapted.com. If you are trying to catch up on the new stuff that you missed, those are the places you could check us out. And also, guys, don't remember to show some love to this spot. Factory Underground Radio, Factory Underground Studios, Factory Underground, period, where, listen, you can do anything. Get all your technical stuff done, Kate. Yep. You can learn voiceover. You can learn how to sing, play a piano.
Okay.
All that good stuff.
Do photography.
Do
it all.
It's a one-stop shop for everything arts and music production here at Factory Underground. But let's get back into it, y'all. Listen, I haven't given y'all a blaxploit in a while, and I think it's time. I wanted to use that one.
Why? I like that.
That one's good too.
It was that one too, wasn't it?
That one's good too.
Yeah.
The blaxploit of the week. Here's what I'm going to do.
I was into that.
This is what I'm going to do with blaxploit, Kate. Right. Today is going to be the first introduction in the blaxploit's top black cartoon shows ever.
I like it.
Top black cartoon shows of all time, baby. And here on Blaxploit, I have to bring you the first one that has meant a lot to me as a young kid. And this was my first introduction into the shows that kind of talked about situations that were familiar to me as a kid. And today's first introduction is none other than the show Fat Albert. Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids, or simply known as Fat Albert. This was an American educational animated television series created, produced, and hosted in live action and bookends by comedian Bill Cosby, who lent his voice to a number of the characters, including Fat Albert himself. Film Nation was the production company for the series. The show premiered in 1972. New episodes were produced sporadically during this time frame, and the show was based on Cosby's remembrances of his childhood gang, focused on Fat Albert, known for his catchphrase, hey, 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 and his friends. The show features an educational lesson in each episode, emphasized by Cosby's live action segments. In addition, at the end of the early episodes, the gang typically joins in their North Philadelphia junkyard to play a song on their cobbled together instruments, summarizing the show's lessons. The New York Times noted that the show enjoyed enormous success throughout its run. The show's success led Cosby to create another animated show, Little Bill, which I was loosely watching here and there. Wasn't like Fat Albert, but still good, in the late 90s. And Little Bill was intentionally designed to be visually different from Fat Albert while retaining similar educational lessons and roots in Cosby's childhood experiences. The show, Cosby voiced a bunch of the characters, also came up with most of the concept, created by and developed by himself, and had strong 8 seasons totaling 110 episodes plus 5 specials. And I gotta say, I loved everything about it. You had Mushmouth, you had Dumb Donald, you had Fat Albert himself, you had Russell Cosby, old weird Harold Simmons. And what's cool about this was that this was paying homage to the people he came up with in cartoon form, and probably exaggerated a little bit, of course. But it was a fun watch, and every single show. I don't know. Have you ever watched an episode of it?
I have not, but I have heard of it.
Every single show, there was something educational.
Well, see, I love that you're highlighting this, because I think, I think Blaxploit is just so incredibly, has such a wide berth of celebrating everything in the Black community in arts. And I think it's so incredibly important, especially in the 70s and 80s, to have cartoons, even if it's a cartoon, stuff like this, to showcase and represent positive characters and also be educational. The character Fat Albert first appeared in Bill Cosby's stand-up comedy routine, Buck Buck, as recorded on his 1967 album, Revenge. It was based on his tales about growing up in the inner city in North Philadelphia. I actually didn't know that Cosby was from Philly. In 1969, Cosby and veteran animator Ken Mundy brought Fat Albert to animation in a primetime special entitled Hey, 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 It's Fat Albert. The special, which aired on NBC, was a hybrid of live action and animation. The music for the special was written and performed by jazz pianist, keyboardist Herbie Hancock, and was released on the Warner Brothers album Fat Albert Rotunda. The producers wanted NBC to bring Fat Albert to Saturday mornings, but the network programming managers rejected this because the series was too educational.
To education.
Bill Cosby and a new production company, Filmation Associates, then took the property to CBS. The Fat Albert Gang's character images were primarily created by the artist Randy Holler with the assistance of one-time Disney animator Michelle McKinney under the direction of Ken Brown. Following these changes, two new characters, James Mushmouth Mush and Bucky Miller, are added to replace Nolan and Weasel from the 1969 pilot, while 6 other main cast members would return. Filmation provided the animation for the show, while the opening sequence and the unaired 1971 pilot were outsourced and animated to Japanese production company Toei Animation. Probably saying that wrong, but premiered on September 9th, 1972 on CBS. Production lasted for 12 years. It also spent another season in first-run syndication from 1984 to 1985. So I think it's incredibly important. You know, it was educational, it was representative, and it was entertaining.
That is the first inductee into the...
I like it.
Into the top black cartoons of all time. Fat Albert, number 1, y'all, here at Blaxploit. Can't forget about the great things about the show and what they taught young kids in the inner cities, and how that visual was motivation for a lot of people to be like, oh, damn, there's someone that looks like me that's doing this, has a cartoon show?
Absolutely.
I could do it too.
Not for nothing. It's not even the cartoon aspect. It's the creativity, too.
The creativity.
Right? Everything that goes into animation, the creativity and the talent behind that, too, shows your animators, your cartoonists, your voiceover artists, all the people that have to get involved with animation, I think, shows, too, what was in the industry as well. But yeah, that's your Blaxploit for the week. Fat Albert
of the week.
Love it.
Now, guys, let's get into a little bit of the chick flick of it all. What we got for chick flick?
Yeah, so, you know, I've been debating doing this. It's like one of those things where I was like, all right, maybe I can prolong this.
I'm surprised you haven't done this one.
I know. I have to do it due justice, guys. The film that we are highlighting this week for chick flick is The Notebook.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta.
I'm giving you full round of applause. Right. Full round of applause.
The Notebook. Jeez. Is a 2004 American romantic drama film directed by Nick Cassavetes from a screenplay by Jeremy Levin and Jan Sardi, and based on the 1996 novel by Nicholas Sparks. Let me tell you something. This man, Nicholas Sparks, has not only written The Notebook, but has written a slew of other romance novels, but not like your trashy romance novels of the 80s. Of these stories that just captivate your heart, captivate what romance is, and makes you fall in love with these characters and they're heartfelt. It's like, yo, a man wrote this? No offense, love you so much, but you would think movies and books like this are coming necessarily more so from women, right? Not being sexist, just saying that women are more in tune with their nurturing side, I think. But to have a man write books that are so intuitive, not only to the male character, but to the female character, is a huge talent. You had Rachel McAdams, Ryan Gosling. And basically, it stars them as young couple who fall in love in the 1940s. Complete opposites. She comes from a very well-to-do family, and falls in love with kind of this like rebel rouser, if you will, someone who doesn't have a lot of money, really has no place in society, in her society. But the cool thing about it is that the story is read from a notebook in the modern day by an elderly man telling the tale to a fellow nursing home resident. So you have an older man who's in a nursing home with an older woman, and she's suffering from dementia. And so he's been reading this story to her. And, as it goes on, they meet Allison and Noah Calhoun. They meet, they fall in love. It's the ups and downs of their relationship, how they eventually come together, how they make it work. And it turns out that at the end of the film, the two old people in the nursing home are actually Allie and Noah. And
we can definitely
it's
spoiler
a 2004 film.
Haven't seen it.
Anybody who hasn't seen this film, it's egregious. That's an offense, and you should be.
Did you realize this while watching the film?
I think halfway through, I probably put 2 and 2 together. As they kept doing flash, current day, and people would talk to him about her stats, but they were very clever in how they did it. It wasn't revealed literally at the end of the film. It was revealed a little bit before that, but his wife has dementia and decides to move in with her because they've created this life together. They love each other, and so his way of being there for her is to read her their love story, and it's from a notebook that she took notes in, or I guess, or for lack of a better term, wrote their story in, and that is, and eventually she obviously dies. And it's just about him loving her. He's loved her this whole time, their whole lives, from the 40s into current day.
Yeah.
And it's just so incredibly beautiful.
I gotta say, when I first saw it, Kate, I did not think I was gonna like it, and wow.
I mean, the pivotal scene of them screaming at each other in the rain and then making love in this old abandoned house. I mean, it was just such a great film. A little about production. The film rights to Nicholas Sparks' novel were acquired by New Line Cinema in 1996, represented by producer Mark Johnson. Jeremy Levin was hired to write the script, which caught the attention of director Steven Spielberg in 1998, who wished to film it with Tom Cruise as Noah Calhoun. That would not have worked. To prepare for the part, Gosling temporarily moved to Charleston, South Carolina prior to filming. During 2 months, he rode the Ashley River and made furniture. When James Garner was approached for the role of the older Noah, he asked his agent if the script was for a television film until he read it again and realized it had a universal appeal. A lot of people to play Allie: Jessica Biel, Britney Spears, Jamie King, Jane McGregor, Jennifer Lawrence, Kate Beckinsale, Kate Bosworth, Amy Adams, Mandy Moore. Mandy Moore would have been good. Scarlett Johansson, Claire Danes, Jennifer Love Hewitt, Ashley Judd, and Reese Witherspoon. Now, the character Allie had a little bit of spunk to her, so I think Rachel McAdams definitely encompassed that. And when Rachel McAdams came in and read, it was apparent that she was the one. She and Ryan had great chemistry between them. So yeah, it was filmed mostly on location in South Carolina, as well as the wintry battlefield just outside Montreal. Production offices for the film were set up at the old Charleston Naval Shipyard in North Charleston. So much of the film's plot takes place in and around Seabrook Island, an actual town, which is one of the South Carolina Sea Island localities, located 20 miles southwest of Charleston. So yeah, it was just so quaint and feel good. It was a beautiful, beautiful film. Yeah. The film was great. You guys should check it out. You can catch it anywhere now at this point. But The Notebook.
The Notebook, y'all. The latest chick flick inductee into some of Kate's greatest love stories, love films of all time. And Notebook, listen, fellas, if you haven't seen it, trust me, take it from me. I wasn't expecting much. And I'm like, wow, this was very, very well done.
It was.
Very well done. Keep it locked in here, y'all. We got our artist highlight of the month, or just artist highlight. The great Gloria Estefan. Coming up after this, y'all. In my house, the Mary Jane girls.
I like it.
Little Rick James proteges right there for you here on Scriptly Adapted, a Factory Underground Radio, y'all. We just had a great chick flick, The Notebook. And before that, we had a blaxploit featuring the greatest black cartoons of all time. The first inductee was Fat Albert, y'all, if y'all missed it. Welcome back to the show. And we have our artist highlight for you. And we've been doing Gloria Estefan. Gloria Estefan, the great.
She's great, man.
Gloria Estefan.
Get on Your Feet is a song by the Cuban-American singer-songwriter Gloria Estefan, taken from her solo debut studio album Cuts Both Ways, written by Don DeFaria, Jorge Casas, and Clay Oswald, and produced by the later two along with Emilio Estefan Jr. It was released on September 19th, 1980, as the second single taken from the record by Epic Records, a song of encouragement. The dance poppin' Sith funk tune shows Estefan helping someone that has fallen on hard times and letting them know they'll make it through once they get on their feet. Critics reviewed the song positively, praising its upbeat nature and Estefan's vocals. In the United States, Get on Your Feet just missed out on the top 10, peaking at number 11 on the Billboard Hot 100. It was a better success on the adult contemporary chart, where it hit number 5 and also reached the top 10 of the Cashbox Top 100. Internationally, it proved less successful, hitting the top 10 only in Ireland. Estefan re-recorded the song for her 2020 album Brazil 305. Despite its subpar success, the track has gained longevity over the years, being named Estefan's signature song and is also the name of her Broadway musical about her life.
Oh, well, listen, Gloria Estefan, Get Up and Make It Happen. Apparently, just told us Nayo just told us the lyrics. Thank you for that. Thank you for the layup.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Appreciate that. Get on your feet. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us here on Scriptly Adapted on Factory Underground Radio. Thank you for your continued support and watching and listening. Keep doing it because we need y'all to make this bigger, better, and badder than ever, bringing you great shows and all that good stuff. Okay, are we going to continue with Artist Highlight?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, we'll think about it.
Meryl's got 1,000 movies. Gloria Estefan's got remixes and tracks that we haven't heard of that we might bring you.
Yes.
Until next time.
Yes.
What do you have to say?
Toodles.
Peace out, y'all. Here's a little Gloria Estefan, Get on Your Feet. Scriptly Adapted. Peace.
You're just listening to Scriptly Adapted on Factory Underground Radio and Live 365. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at Scriptly Adapted.